Hello students, in this video we see how to download a latest version of Android Studio. So type Android Studio or search Android Studio, download, and then you will see the first link, which is the official link, developer.android studio. So here is one link for downloading the latest version. If you want to see the study material or system requirements, then go to downwards, and whatever your operating system, then see the system requirements. My operating system is Windows, and 64-bit, 8 GB RAM is required, and I'm clicking on download. Click on accepting agreement, then see exe is downloading here. If your internet speed is higher, then it completes in minimum time. Otherwise, it will take more time for whole installation process. After completing the download, click on the exe and follow the steps. Meanwhile, you may read the new features in the latest video version. Here it prompted, and I'm clicking on run. Then Android Studio is now installing. Meanwhile, I'm scrolling and loading the new features. Android is one of the popular mobile operating system, which is Linux based and open source. Earlier developers uses some Eclipse and configure uh, in that Android SDK, and they do applications. But Android Studio is now official for developing the Android applications. Here, if you have old version of Android Studio on your system, then uninstall it and then install the latest version. You need to turn on your internet connection while installing. By default path is C program files, Android, and inside Android Studio. Okay, click on next and finish. See what will happen. We will create one new project. After completing this installation, okay, this is the window. Click on do not import settings, then click on OK. This is the latest version. I am recording this video in Feb 2023, and at this time this is the latest. Now click on don't send and click on next. Then you may select theme, whatever you want, dark or light, and then click on next. JDK location, SDK location, SDK components. Okay, then click on finish. Now some components need to download. Okay, this completed. Click on finish. Then create new project. Okay, new project. Select empty activity. New project after that. Empty activity. Then give the name for your Android application. Then default package is your Android application name. Then select the language whatever you want, Java or Kotlin. Then select the minimum SDK and see the percentage. Your application will run approximately this percentage of devices. This percentage should be maximum so that your application will run on maximum devices. So select accordingly minimum SDK. So here we almost done, and see, this is our first Android application. This IDE, Android IDE means integrated development environment. This is somewhat similar to Visual Studio IDE, where there is one project folder, project structure, whatever the project files you may see inside that project folder structure. Then there is one code window and one design window. Inside Android, to design our activity, means like web page, inside Android application we say activity, which is our screen, mobile screen, which is the touchable component. Okay, means inside web application we say web pages. Like same here in Android we say activity. If you have selected the Java language, then main activity.java file created, and activity main.xml is common for both Java and Kotlin. If you have selected Kotlin language, then main activity.kt file is generated. Now this is the folder structure or project structure. Inside app there are number of packages, and the main activity is inside the Java package, and inside layout folder or package there is one XML file where we need to design our Android activities. Now to run this default Hello World application, we need to create virtual device which is called as emulator. So inside there are three options: code, split and design. Inside code there is only code. Split means both code and design means only design part. So we are clicking on split so that we can code as well as see the design part. Now here is one option for creating virtual device, which means emulator. To test our Android application, we need one virtual device which is similar to our phone, or you may connect your real device which is your phone and test your application. So two options in front of you, but here we are creating one virtual device emulator. Select the version whatever you want. API level is also giving there. Accept and install. Before doing any code, it is requested to run the first Hello World application. If you run it successfully, then only go forward and do code. By default, one main activity is there. We are selected empty activity. While creating new project, we are we have selected empty activity, and the name of that activity is main activity. Two files for one activity created here, one XML and one .java. For event handling code, we use Java file, and for designing we use XML file. It takes some time to create virtual device. Virtualization we need to be enabled. For Windows 10, virtualization is by default enabled. If you face any problem regarding virtualization, then you may verify your virtualization is enabled or not. Okay, here we done. Then click on finish. So here I am running our created virtual device. By default, the virtual device we see inside this window, same window, inside same IDE, but I don't want this emulator window inside this same IDE. So we need to change some settings. So click on file and then settings, and inside setting click on tools. Inside tools there is one option emulator. Now check this launch in a tool window, uncheck this option. So our emulator window we will see in separate window and not inside this IDE. So this is the by default constraint layout. Inside XML we see the default layout is constraint layout, and inside constraint layout there is one text view which is similar to label, and inside text view they have written text as hello world. So if we run the application we see hello world on the screen. When we run this application successfully, then we move forward and create our own application, start to create our own application. First we check is there any problem for emulator. So don't do any code or any design. First only check emulator emulator is proper running or not. For me it takes some time. Now see waiting for all target devices to come online message. Here means our application built successfully, and now it will be installed on our emulator, and then we will see hello world message. First time it takes some more time. Okay, we see the launching activity means installed successfully, and see this is the message hello world.